into T2T After Dark. This is episode 6, talking everything NFL Week 6, coming at you starting tomorrow night. I am Nate Wallen. You can find me on Twitter at Nate_Dirt19. Before I get too far, this is a T2T Podcast Network production. I'm back after a couple-week hiatus with work and a junk computer. Excited to be here with my pals, Rich. You can find him on Twitter at FritoBandito_FF. What's good, buddy?
Another beautiful week of football. Some good games last week. Some
Monday night
little bragging rights. I guess I could talk over you guys, but I'm not gonna rub it. I'm not gonna rub salt in the wound or anything like that. You know how it goes. But yeah, Raiders over Green Bay Packers, baby.
It's like pistol whipping a blind kid.
Yeah, man. Right off the bat. He like ease into it. He did, and then he hit us hard.
He couldn't help himself.
I know he could. He's been waiting since Sunday night or Monday night.
I know. I was waiting on my phone.
When last time the Packers played Raiders? Come on.
We suck. I don't know what to tell you. And you just heard Abe as well. You can find him on Twitter at MVINFF. What's up, buddy?
Nothing, man. It's good to have you back, Nate. Rich really hung it down the last couple weeks. It's had a couple of good guys on here with us, but man, last week was difficult as a Packers fan. I thought we were going to get on here after you being gone for a couple weeks and really razz the shit out of Rich, but that's not the case.
Yeah, we fucking suck. Yeah, that's about all
we do.
Shit. Hey, you just see my guy get walked there? Got Colton Wong took a good walk. I can't believe that scumbag's still in the league.
That's your guy. Best second baseman ever play.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really good. Oh, man. Before we get going, you can find all our content, articles, mock drafts, everything we do over at toadstyles.com. Check it out. Tons of stuff every day. I think just had a IDP article get released today. It's like Fallers and Ballers, whatever. It's 3 up, 3 down. Coaches, Dudes, and Duds was released this morning, as well as every single thing else we do. So if you're on YouTube watching this, which we hope you are, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We would appreciate that, and the little bell to know when we're going live. It's been super busy, so it's been fun. So and last thing before we get going too much, if you want to interact with any of us or the rest of the team, hit us up. You can get in our Gilded chat. It's free. There's like 250 some people in it, I think, and it's constantly football talk all the time. College football, NFL, fantasy football, DFS, just everything. So yeah, but please check it out, and we'll get you in there. So DM any one of us. We'll get it hooked up. Also, Coach has squares he's selling for the Raiders-Lions game on October 30th. They're $5 a piece. There's a handful of them left. So hit me up. We can get you guys in contact with Coach Sheps and get you a square if you would like one. The only thing we got going on right now, Rich, besides I'm sure there's some Patreon giveaways they're doing. I can't remember, though.
Yeah, they got a few that we're going to be giving away. If we get another Patreon member, I want to say he's doing a DK Metcalf autographed card. All you have to do is go on and do like comments on like 20 of our videos, show that what you're doing. I want to say that's the giveaway we're doing right now. So besides that, look, it's just a fact about getting into Gilded and stuff like that. And we just got another member today. I want to do a shout out to my man Evo General. Just added him to the chat and stuff like that. Been kind of communicating with him. So shout out to you, my guy, and looking forward to having chats like we always do within Gilded.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. Like I said, it seems like there's always stuff going on. It's good. So Week 6 starts tomorrow. The Chiefs and Broncos, that is going to be I would assume the Broncos. I mean, I always say they should get the shit beat out of them, but I don't think they have any chance. Yeah, of course we are, Joe. You knew we would be. I thought you were going to come drink a beer and drop a few F-bombs.
After dark, come on, man.
That's what you said you wanted to do. You told me that last night. But I'm excited for Week 6 because the Packers are on the bye, so I don't, my blood pressure will be nice and low. I think I got to go get family pictures in Springfield with my sister and her kids and stuff Sunday night, so I don't really care now that I'm going to be gone. So, works out. A lot of injuries have been popping up. Justin Jefferson, the IR is huge. It should help us out, Abe, maybe when we play the Vikings in a couple weeks. I think we play. What do we play in 3 weeks? Something like that. So
2, I think. Well, bye week, and then we have Denver and then Minnesota. So 3 weeks from now. But yeah, bye week, then second game after the bye.
I mean, it really doesn't matter who we play. Like, we don't really deserve to be on the field right now. I feel like we look pretty shitty. So, but that's huge for them. I don't know. Kirk and him have been doing pretty well. Their offense looked decent, I guess, against the Chiefs. I thought their defense looked really good actually against the Chiefs. But this kind of knocks them back a lot because he relies pretty heavily on Justin Jefferson, as he should. So what do you think going forward, Rich? They got any chance against the Bears this weekend?
I think it'll be a good game and everything. It's one of the things now where you more worry about, like, if any team goes up on them big, like say the Bears get up on them big, does Cousins have the capability of making the comeback like he has been with Kirk Cousins being there, everything? I mean, for fantasy aspect and stuff, Hawkinson, I mean, he goes up as far as opportunity and everything. And the rookie, man, it's slipping my mind.
Addison.
Yeah, Addison and stuff like that. Look, obviously he's going to be more involved and stuff like that, but he's already dealing with the injury this week too. So kind of scares me on what the expectation for this week for him. So look, there's going to be other opportunities for a lot of people on that team. Now that ball is going to get distributed, but I think Hawkinson is going to be the main contributor of it.
I like him, and I like KJ Osborne. I don't know what you think, Abe. Jordan Addison seems like he's still learning. He's going to be really, really good, but KJ Osborne's been there. And I think last year he had a couple big weeks too. I look for him to, I'll say it later, but I look for him to step up and do pretty well. Obviously not be the number one, but Hawkinson's their number one now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Hawkinson's obviously a huge jump for them, and then I think KJ Osborne kind of takes a big jump also. I think Addison has a slight increase, but he's only had one really bad game, but I don't think he's going to move a lot. I actually think things might be a little bit tougher on him because you don't have all that pressure on the other side of the field taken off you with JJ. So I think people are going to key on him a little bit more because you can't have constant safety over the top. So I think that it's a big upgrade for KJ Osborne at this point. And it's, that's one guy that Cousins really relies on. I think that's kind of big at this point in time. So I think that Osborne takes a big jump, not a big jump, but a significant jump. And I think that Jordan Addison, just be cautious. I do like Jordan Addison. I've always liked Jordan Addison this year. But just kind of think if you're a defense and you go in this game where you always have, maybe a second corner or safety help over the top with Jefferson, you don't need that anymore. So that's gonna tilt the field a little bit more towards Addison's side.
J-Rob getting in the chat. Minnesota's favorite of the Bears with no Justin Jefferson. Coming off how the Bears look. What's Vegas know? Hate those criminals. They know that Justin Fields sucks, so I don't think it matters. I know he looked. I saw somebody put some stats up there today. How he's got like all these yards and this, that, and the other. It's like, and they're still fucking 1-4. So it really doesn't matter.
Some of those stats are so skewed because they put up him with like 4 main guys, and it's like people that have not had huge numbers, and his numbers are based off of 2 weeks. So he's back at MVP conversation here in Illinois.
Last time I looked, he was still like 17,000 to 1. Last week, Friday after their big win, I was talking to one of my buddies. I said, "Hey, did you bet him MVP yet?" And I went and looked, and he was like 17,000 to 1. Jordan Love was still 7.5 to 1.
I think the biggest question is does Cousins get traded now?
No.
No.
What? I'd like a Vikings fan, a real Vikings fan, to come on they can come on the show. I want to know what they think they're going to do without Kirk Cousins. Like, what's their plan? Like,
who's their backup?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think if they just signed they just signed someone to their practice squad today, and I cannot think of who it was. No one significant. I mean, honestly, if they
Kellen Mond was on the Colts. He's on the Colts.
He's on the Colts now.
Yeah.
If
I don't know who
they,
backup is it still that?
I mean, they have the Bears, the Packers, and I think the Chiefs. Their next 3 games. If they lose 2 of those 3, then after that Chiefs game, I think that's the trade deadline. After that Chiefs game,
they played the Chiefs last
if
week.
they lose all 3, you don't know what they're going to do. If they've been talking about possibly tanking to get, a top quarterback and stuff like that. They're going to be fighting with a lot of teams right now because there's some bad teams in the NFL. But if they do tank and they want to focus on signing Justin Jefferson, for a long haul, will that piss off Justin Jefferson to lose Cousins? Will he be excited to get a rookie quarterback? Who the hell knows? But I don't know what if I were them, I wouldn't be against shopping Cousins because he's gone after next year anyways. So see if you can get, a good pick for it. I don't know.
There's a lot of like game mismanagement on the Vikings side that I don't feel is always Kirk's fault. I'm not like a big Kirk kissing Cousins fan. I don't like the Vikings, but he's never like. It doesn't seem like he's the reason, they're always losing. Like against the Chiefs, even they were like, it seems like they're always driving down the field, 2-minute drill. And they're like, they're looking around like, what do we do? We're getting like delayed game penalties and shit like that. Like that. I'm not putting it all on Cousins. I think, I think Kevin O'Connell's whatever. But their defense usually sucks. And so it's like, I think he's been fine. But
I think he's good. He's serviceable. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying.
If for some reason he went to the Jets, they're an instant upgrade, and so that's why I'm like, is that a possibility? I think it's a long shot. It's hopeful for a lot of us fantasy, fans and stuff like that, and especially a New York fan. But I don't think it's realistic. But it's possible. You just never know what the hell is going to happen if they start out 1-6 or 1-7.
Think of it this way: if they go 0-4, if they go 0-4 while Jefferson's on the IR, do they even think about not bringing Jefferson back?
Oh, that's another thing too. Yeah, if you want to sign him long term,
that'd be cool if they don't. Just like Stephon Diggs didn't sign long term. I'd be cool if Jefferson left Minnesota for the Packers' sake.
I don't know. Who knows what he didn't sign they offered him a pretty big contract the week before his season started, and he declined it. So
yeah, that's not Vikings talk. I'm tired of talking about him.
Yeah.
Devon A-Chain, that sucks. He's been carrying my Scott Fishbowl team. I didn't realize after drafting, I didn't really like my team. But I've done well because of McCaffrey, ETN, and A-Chain. Those 3 pretty much carry my team. My team sucks otherwise. Dak Prescott's done he's okay before last week. But sucks to he's a fun rookie to watch. That dude is fast.
Yeah.
Like it's just been fun to watch. So I'm not a big Mostert guy. I don't they have somebody else too.
He's coming off the IR.
Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because they got all the old 49ers guys that they got rid of.
Yeah.
That's right. So I don't know if it matters. Their offense flies no matter what. So it just sucks to not have him out there. Anthony Richardson, this is not going to be good for a long time. He was always hurt at Florida. I get it. That's his playing style, but it's different in the men's league than it was in college. Everybody's fast and big now. So it sucks. He's fun to watch. He's great. He's got all kinds of talent, but those quarterbacks just have a hard time staying healthy. And it obviously for him, it's been tough. So I don't know. What do you think, Abe, about old Minshew Mania coming in? You worried about the skill players for the Colts?
What's the wide receiver that's a rookie? I can't think of his name. Sarah will know who it is.
Josh Downs.
Josh Downs. I think he has an instant upgrade because it looked like Minshew. He liked him quite a bit when he's come in and played. So
Minshew came in Sunday and was like 11 of 14.
Yeah, Minshew's
he's a fucking gunslinger.
He's played in some games where he kind of knows what to do. If I'm going to have a backup, I'm really happy with him. So I like Minshew. I think it's a good serviceable backup. I mean, they're in a division that has started off really slow. I mean, Jacksonville won 2 games while they're in London to get to about 500, but who knows what they can do. I think that Minshew will be good and serviceable for him. I do think it obviously helps a ton now that you got Johnny Taylor back. I don't think Minshew and Zach Moss really scared a lot of football teams.
Zach Moss has been a dog.
Yeah, but I think Minshew and Moss and Taylor now is a little bit more scary. So,
yeah. Rich, what do you think?
Minshew, he'll be good. He'll be fine.
Yeah, Rich.
You know what? To be honest with you, I'm excited about it and stuff like that. I mean, I had Richardson in multiple leagues, and every league I did pick up Minshew and stuff like that because you could kind of tell from the get go what kind of season was going to be. He was going to have his opportunity to play. And to be honest with you, look, Colts offense ain't bad. They got a good receiving core. Initially, I was thinking Downs was going to be a down play, but Minshew actually targets them pretty well and stuff like that. And you might even see his targets go up because he's going to be available for a lot of check downs or across the middle underneath and everything. So I do like him. I shout out to the guy in our Gilded chat. Initially, I told him, hey, hold off on Downs, but after doing some more studying and stuff like that, look, it's a good uptick for him for this with this move. And just like Abe said, it doesn't hurt that Jonathan Taylor's coming back too. So
don't forget the Colts have Amari Rodgers too. He's good. He's really good.
And they also have 5 tight ends.
I like Alec Pierce too, the kid out of Cincinnati, second year. Hopefully he can kind of take a step forward. I think the passing game is going to be better. Shane Steichen's going to have to completely redo the playbook. I mean, they're not going to be running all these RPOs and design runs with Minshew. I mean, he can run, but not like Anthony Richardson. I think
serviceable as far as running. He'll get.
Yeah,
I can see him doing 20, 30 yards every once in a while in games.
I think he's and he's just a great backup. I don't know, like 6 games maybe. I feel like once he gets like 7, 8 game range, it's like I don't know if he gets worn out or something, but like
right. Yes, 100%. I agree.
Like the luster kind of like wears off. Mm-hmm. And then it's like,
yeah, I agree.
That was fun. So hopefully Richardson comes back. Yeah.
I do think he has
the right out up to 7 to 8 weeks.
I thought it was 4 weeks.
They don't know.
Well, obviously they're going to stick him on IR and stuff like that.
I know about the AC joint separation here, buddy. Okay. I mean, it's fine. I'm back. I'm ready.
We got Doc Nate over here giving us some insight.
Oh man,
I love the coach. I mean, I love that Steichen's there to help out. You can ask for a better quarterback coach right now, and as your head coach, so that only helps.
James Conner again. I every year, but pick up DeMarcado if you haven't. So I want to say the Cardinals. They actually play pretty decent football. I mean, they're not one of like the 6 good teams in the NFL because that's I think all there is right now. Like 6 good teams, everybody else just fucking sucks. But that's about it. So I don't know. Are you guys going to get DeMarcado?
No,
I am.
There's actually another running back there that might have more opportunity.
Who?
I like him. I think he plays a nice little role on their team. I like him. I don't like anything. I avoided the Arizona Cardinals this year, but he is one guy that I went and attempted to get in pretty much every one of my leagues because I don't really draft running backs. So any chance I can get a starting running back, I'm going to go do it.
Rich, who's your guy?
I can't think of his name. He was there backup last year too. He was a rookie.
Keontae Ingram.
Huh?
Keontae Ingram.
Yep. He might be the man that everybody might be wanting to look into and stuff like that. I get the name that came up from this past week and everything, but they do have him too. So either way, I'm staying far away from the running game in Arizona now. So,
I mean, not that I was all in on the running game, but in the first place, but yeah, probably not either. All right, moving on. Fantasy favorites for the week. Quarterbacks. I took some low hanging fruit here. Took Pat Mahomes versus Denver. I think it's pretty obvious that there's some turmoil there. Joe and I last night on the show said, the Broncos are 1-4. Is Peyton on the hot seat? And I said, and Joe agrees. Like, I think fucking Russ Wilson's on the hot seat. Sean Payton's not getting fired. He'll bench Russell Wilson. They're going to get the fucking doors blown off tomorrow night.
I wouldn't be surprised if freaking the
Taylor Swift
the
playing
backup
quarterback?
from Raiders last
Right.
year is playing by the end of the season.
Oh yeah, I just forgot his name.
Yeah, same here. Right?
I thought you had his jersey, Rich.
Yeah, Garoppolo.
No, not Garoppolo. The backup. Damn it.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
I'll think of it later. And I like Dak against the Chargers. Chargers are dog shit. Dak had a rough go of things against a very good team last week. So, yeah, I'm back in on the Dak train. I think he'll have a bounce back game. Rich?
I have Mr. Justin Fields after a big game last week. Should have another Stidham. They just posted it in. He just posted Jarrett Stidham. There you go. Back to Justin Fields. Look, he had a big week last week, and I like him to continue his success against the Vikings and everything as they're in turmoil right now. So,
hey,
yeah, I got Fields also. I mean, you know, when I went and looked at quarterbacks this week, you know, obviously I'm a big matchup guy, and this is a pretty solid one. I think Minnesota is hanging their heads like, oh shit, what do we do now? I mean, and the Bears think they're riding pretty high after beating the doors off the Broncos.
They're going 13-4. And the Bears are going 13-4.
Yeah, oh yeah, they've already won the Super Bowl. So, but I like Fields. I mean, I think that's a good matchup for him. So I like Fields, and I really like Stafford against Arizona. I mean, we saw Joe Burrow get his stuff right against Arizona last week. Stafford, you know, he's slinging around. He's got a couple of good wide receivers. We talked a little bit about it last week. So I like Stafford against Arizona as well.
They just traded away their best receiver, though.
That's right. They did. Van Jefferson going to the Falcons. That's my guy.
Yeah, were they definitely fucking slinging around?
Yeah, yeah. Not to the guys you'd think they throw it to.
No,
that's fine. It's not a big deal. Yeah, Van Jefferson got traded to the Falcons for a late round pick swap, 2 days ago or something like that. So, yeah, I'm not, you know, maybe he'll do better there. Probably not though. Running back, I like Bijan against the Washington football team. That defense sucks. I don't know. We all thought they were going to be good. They're terrible. That defense is so bad. They can't do anything. But last year, I don't know how the numbers looks like what they did. They can't stop anybody. You know, Justin Fields threw for 1,900 yards against him or something like that. Yeah. So, and they won't be able to stop Bijan. I don't know if you guys saw that overhead camera, that fucking play he made. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah. Little insight to our rankings coming out tomorrow with me and Jason. I do have my Bijan ranked number 1 in running backs this week. So,
yeah. And I like Tony Pollard, another guy against Chargers because they stink. Rich, I'll say that every time I get a chance.
Yeah, look, with the injury to Devon A-Chain and stuff like that, you cannot like Raheem Mostert against the Carolina Panthers. He's had opportunity and shined well the last 2-3 weeks too. And now that A-Chain is out and not taking so much of those touches, he's going to have a lot of opportunity to produce some numbers. So I do like him a lot this week against the Carolina Panthers.
My two guys, I like Mixon against Seattle. He's not done much for fantasy this year, but he looks pretty good. And we saw big games out of the passing game last week with Cincinnati. The Seattle team, the Seattle defense, you know, last year was flying all over the field. This year it's been kind of beat up a little bit, banged up, giving up some points, giving up some yards. So I like Mixon against Seattle this week, kind of an outsider one guy that we really haven't really seen do much in fantasy, but I think he has a pretty good game this week. And I really, really like James Cook. I like any running back against the New York Giants. James Cook, I don't know if he saw a few carries taken away last week by that shitty ass backup running back, but James Cook, I think, has a real nice game against the Giants this week.
Yeah, what are you doing putting Latavius Murray in there?
I don't know.
Come on, man. This is all he does when he scores touchdowns.
Yeah, when he scores touchdowns, you got to get there first. I love Joe Mixon. I'm worried that offensive line sucks. Like, well, I thought they spent a bunch of money. Joe Burrow's still getting his ass beat. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Rich is going to get his Latavius Murray jersey. He probably has one. Oh, no, he doesn't. I hope they get it.
My computer's actually fixing to shut down. I forgot to plug it in.
I was hoping you're putting the Latavius Murray jersey on.
I do have one.
I got a DeMarco. Hey, I got a DeMarco Murray Raiders jersey. What number was Latavius? You wouldn't even know the difference. At receiver, I like Stephon Diggs against Giants. I think it's a get right game, and not that that was a big that nobody talked about, but I've heard how big of a disadvantage that was for the Bills playing the Jags in London that have been there for 10 days. Like that's kind of shitty on the NFL on the Bills part. It feels like, like you're jet lagged, but they're completely used to it, so it's fine. Just go out there and play. No big deal.
They were leveling out the playing field, man. Come on.
I guess whatever. But yeah, I like Diggs against Giants and KJ Osborne against the Bears because they don't have a defense.
Yeah, so just like you like Dak against the Chargers, I love me some CeeDee Lamb after the squeaky wheel was squeaking a little bit. You can see him on the sideline. I don't know if you saw the game where he's just walking the sideline. They shoot him like 5 times, just kind of like just shaking his head and everything. So I love for him to have a huge game this week against the Chargers.
Hell yeah.
I like that. I like all this Dallas stuff against the Chargers because, Nate, you and I know that we watched a lot of Mike McCarthy, and when he got absolutely embarrassed one week, he worked his ass off and put out a good product the next week. So I think that the Cowboys look really good this week on Monday Night Football against the Chargers. So I like all the Charger stuff. My wide receivers, I like Puka and Kupp. I like both those guys against Arizona. For the same reason I like Stafford against this defense. I think that the Rams are kind of slinging it all around the field. So I like Puka and Kupp quite a bit. They're going against some pretty shitty corners for Arizona. And then I really like once again this week, I keep going back to this but I like and he hasn't really done much, but I like Jalen Waddle. He's going up against a corner Deshaun Jameson, who's just absolutely atrocious. So I'm going to keep riding and going with Waddle until he gets more than 4 catches for 45 yards. And I think that him and Tyreek have an absolute heyday this weekend. So I'm going with Puka and
Waddle.
Puka and Kupp and Waddle. Those are my 3 guys.
Question from Brandon. Would you start Derrick Henry over Bijan, Kyren, or Raheem Mostert? Rich, you can go first.
Yeah, look, I have Henry outside my top 10. I do have Bijan and Mostert in my top 10 rankings this week. Kyren, I'd probably have him ranked ahead of Henry right now, just for this week. So my answer is going to be no. I have all 3 of these ranked higher than Henry this week.
Same here. And hey, fuck the Dodgers. They just got swept.
I love it. I love it.
I'm starting. Obviously, I'm starting Bijan first. I'd probably go in that order, like Bijan, Kyren, Mostert, and then Henry. I think the Ravens are going to come to play after that stupid loss to the shitty Pittsburgh team. Their defense is great, anyways, and I think that'll be a low-scoring game where they just kind of beat on each other in Tennessee. So I like Bijan. Abe?
Henry's probably my 4 out of these. I like Bijan 1, Mostert 2, Kyren 3, and then Henry. So I would, as crazy as it sounded, I would sit Derrick Henry if these are your options to get 3 running backs in there. He's probably number 4 out of that group.
Hell yeah. On tight ends, I like Hawkinson versus Chicago for reasons we said earlier. That's pretty obvious. I'm pretty sure. I thought somebody else had that. I'm sorry I stole it from you. And I like Goddard against the Jets. He had like 117 yards last week, finally started producing a little bit. I think that should continue. I don't know if the Jets defense is as good as they think they are. They're good, but they just seem like there's some, I like said, it's like they leave a lot left to desire, I guess, or however you want to say that. They didn't really shut down Russ and the Broncos, who are fucking awful. I don't know. I think the Eagles will beat the hell out of them, but I like Goddard a lot. Rich?
You know what? The Jets defense kind of reminds me of the Eagles defense. They're better against the run, and they could be passed on and stuff like that. And usually that wasn't the case and everything, but it's almost that case this year and stuff like that. So it's kind of how I look at the Jets defense. I think they got the wind taken underneath their sails with Rodgers being out and it's kind of affected the whole team overall, especially every time that they have to go back in when Wilson is doing his shenanigans.
Hey, he did look really good against the Chiefs, but like I always say, when they show you who they are, believe them. So I don't believe that that's who he is now, but we'll see. But yeah.
My tight end for the week is Zach Ertz against the Rams. Zach, I mean, Ertz is just kind of being that man there and everything and stuff like that. So he's having plenty of opportunity with the Mr. Dobbs over there, giving him plenty of targets and stuff like that. He should have a big week this week against the Rams.
Yeah, I agree. I think Goddard, he didn't do shit the first 3 or 4 weeks, and now he's got really sweet matchups last week, this week. I think he's got a really good one hit. I think next week they might be on bye, but because I was looking at possibly going to trade for him after he wasn't doing anything, and I looked at his matchups, I'm like, these are awesome. Then I never made a point to do it in my tight end leagues, but he had a really nice game last week. I expect him to do the same. The Jets are absolutely atrocious against the tight ends, so I like that pick with Goddard. My tight ends, I think I'm going to put the same two out there. I don't think I'm going to change this line the rest of the year. No. I'm just going to put Hockenson and Laporta every fucking week and just say these are my two guys. Hockenson is on another level. He's taken over number one tight end in my opinion. Laporta is a top 3 in my opinion every week. So we know what Kelsey does, but Hockenson and Laporta in my opinion, they're matchup proof, and they're very solid. I don't even look at their matchups because I automatically plug them in.
Yeah, I think that's an easy. Like I said, that they're so good. So, Rich, let's hear your DFS lineup.
Man, I'm loving this lineup I got today. You got Bryce Young that's going to have to throw it against the Miami Dolphins. So he had a good game last week and everything coming back. And Thielen, man, has been freaking killing it with them. He had a huge game last week. But, yeah, look, I got Bryce Young going against Miami's defense as far as passes ranked.
Their defense is dog shit. Don't let any goddamn Dolphins fan tell you, we're winning the Super Bowl. The fuck you are. You can't stop shit. So you ain't doing shit until your defense gets better.
Yep. And I'm staying with that same game. I'm taking Mostert against 31st ranked Carolina Panthers defense. And then I'm taking Isaiah Pacheco against the Broncos. I mean, we saw what Breece Hall did last week against them. Freaking diced them up and everything. So I like him. I'm taking Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore against Minnesota. Here's the shocker. Tyler Irwin from the Cincinnati Bengals. He's only $3,300 in on DraftKings and everything. He had over 10 targets last week. I don't know if you realize that. And if Higgins is out another week and everything, and this is all depends if Higgins is out and everything, but I'm gonna roll with him another week and see what I get out of him and everything. Logan Thomas against Atlanta. He had a good game last week.
Yeah, he did.
So look to ride him. With some of those low-hanging fruits that I'm taking as far as the value, at the flex, I'm able to get Pollard from the Cowboys, and then I am picking the Patriots defense against the Raiders. So that is my DFS lineup for the week.
You're hedging your bet there, aren't you? Like, it's okay if my defense gets blown out because then my Raiders score a lot of points. I like that. Hey,
I've known to do that myself.
Do you think that that the Vikings might put 2 guys on DJ Moore instead of like the Commanders just being like, you know what? It's fine if you just keep throwing him the ball. We'll just have one guy try to cover him.
You know what? If that happens, I'm all right with that because I do have a lot of shares of Mr. Cole Kmet that has become a monster so far this year, the last 2-3 games. So I'm all right with that.
I don't think it fucking matters. I don't think it fucking matters, Nate. You got Fields back there slinging around. It doesn't matter who. That's right. What you put on DJ Moore, what you put on Cole Kmet, it doesn't matter.
You're right. You're right.
With that being said, I'm going to start off my lineup with Justin Fields, and against this shitty Vikings defense. So he's my quarterback.
I'm telling you, they played good last week against the Chiefs. They played good against them.
Yeah. My running backs are Bijan. I think he has a great week this week. And my second running back, I had to get really low in some dollars because I got some heavy hitters later. But Jerick McKinnon, I think that the Chiefs absolutely stomp tomorrow night. And I think that McKinnon gets a lot of plays in the second half. Jared will probably comment on this. I was big on McKinnon this past week. For him to score, I don't know how many damn bets on McKinnon to score this past week. He didn't do it. Didn't really see much of the field besides blocking. I think they pay him back on Thursday night. We kind of see this where the stud doesn't actually play the whole entire time, especially when you're going up against a shitty run defense like the Broncos. I think McKinnon is a good play tomorrow night. I think he does get in the box. So my running backs, Bijan and McKinnon. My wide receivers, DJ Moore. Why not? I'm going to stack him with Fields, and then get across the sideline, the other sideline, and I got Jordan Addison in there. My kind of long shot at wide receiver is Jonathan Mingo. He's getting a little bit more looks, a bigger wide receiver for Carolina. Like Rich said, I think this is a team that's going to have to throw a lot late, kind of like what they have to do all the time. Thielen's been the guy. He's pretty old, so I don't know if he, goes out and catches 11 again this week. But Mingo's been playing a little bit better, getting some more snaps. He's going to get a favorable matchup. And then my tight end, I have Tyler Conklin. Once again, another guy that's played pretty good, looked pretty good with Zach Wilson lately. I think they're going to have to score, and he might get some garbage time production also. My flex guy is Tyreek. I think Tyreek goes crazy once again. And then for the first time ever in DFS history, I spent a lot of money on my defense, and I'm picking the Bills for obvious reasons against their opponent. I'm extremely upset that we have to watch the Giants 4 out of the first 6 weeks on a primetime game, and I hope the Bills just go in there and just dominate the hell out of them because I'm sick and tired of watching the Giants and Danny Pennies go out there and struggle all over the field. So
it's going to be Ty God this weekend.
I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. They're going to get destroyed by Buffalo. So you can have jet lag, you can have everything you want, and still go out and beat the hell out of this Giants team.
So I got one question on your lineup before you go into Nate's lineup. McKinnon, see what the value on is Jaleel from Denver. Is he? Did you see come across him on what he's worth compared to McKinnon?
No, I didn't. I did not look at it. Like I said, I was heavy on McKinnon the other day. He didn't hit. I was with Jared the other day, and I was rooting pretty hard for McKinnon to get in the box. He didn't. And I said to Jared, I'm 1 week early. So I'm going to try it against the shitty ass Broncos defense. So that's why I put him in my DFS lineup. If I'm going to say it, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to follow through. So I'm all over McKinnon.
I like it. My lineup, Gardner Minshew at quarterback, because why not? He's cheap. We'll see how things go against his former team. I got DeMarcado in there at running back as well. What
was he priced at?
Not as cheap as he should have been, but still pretty damn cheap. I can look while I'm telling the rest of it.
I'll look for you, Nate.
Bijan as well, because like we've said all night, I think he'll have a hell of a week. Rod Godwin, I think he had a big week last week. I don't know. Evans is questionable. So
they're on a bye last week. So you're talking about the week before.
Yes. Sorry. Correct. 2 weeks ago, had a big week. Baker's looked good with both those guys. And I think that continues. I know the defense of the Lions is good. They can get after the quarterback, but I can't talk. The damn line for the Bucs has been pretty good. So I like him. I like KJ Osborne, like we all have. And then Michael Pittman, my little stack with Gardner Minshew and Dallas Goedert at tight end, Travis Etienne at running back, and of course Vikings defense, because I'm going to show you guys they're better than you think, and the Bears fucking stink.
DeMarcado was 4,900 on DraftKings.
There you go.
He should have been so much lower than that.
That's what I thought, but I saw him. I'm like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. So it probably won't work, but hey, you know what? Maybe this is the week it does. Before we go any further, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/titles. To all of you that do support us, we do appreciate the hell out of you. Thanks for helping us keep the lights on. Tons of giveaways in there. The waiver episode's been a lot of fun. Just tons of stuff going on for the Patreon. So again, if you're going to check it out, there's 6 different tiers we offer. Hit us up. We can get you steered in the correct direction. So, let's move on to our favorite lines of the week. I'll go first. I like the Falcons -2.5 at home against the Washington football team. Desmond Ritter's like never lost a home game or some bullshit, college or pro. So I just don't think that I think the Falcons have kind of started doing some good stuff, and their defense has played pretty well. So I like them getting some, or getting. Like I said, not getting points. I like them.
Is it because they acquired Van Jefferson?
Shh. Don't tell anybody that.
Is that the real reason why?
I didn't bet him to score a touchdown. That'll be next week.
He's the secret sauce.
That'll be next week.
Sorry, I let it out.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Which one do you like?
Look, Carolina Panthers at +13.5. I know that might sound crazy.
What?
Look, hey, I expect Miami to start out huge and stuff like that, but I'm really hoping Bryce Young is gonna pull Kirk Cousins and make this spread favorable for me. 13.5. I might be crazy. I think
Frank
I'm
Wright
crazy,
wasn't the coach. I'd say maybe.
Why isn't that
going
spread
out on
more?
a limb, man.
Why isn't that spread? I mean, you look at it and you're just like 13.5. Like it's enticing you to bet, against that, and then it's just like, wait a second, I think the spread should be about 17.5. But
they've been getting the shit beat out of them every week. I don't know. I mean, I guess the Dolphins' defense isn't good, but the offense of the Panthers isn't good either. And I don't know. I feel bad for Bryce Young. He's just getting the shit beat out of him back there. I wish they would try to change some things up to help that, but I guess they don't care. So
yeah, but look, Miami's defense is horrible. This could go score for score. That's what I'm looking for.
Score for score. They beat the Broncos by 50.
Okay, Carolina Panthers, I like to believe, is a little bit better than the Broncos.
I agree. I do agree with that. Hey, what do you got?
I obviously just talked about this a few minutes ago. I like McKinnon to score a touchdown. He's +265. I think this game is a blowout. I think he gets the ball. He was a main blocker last week. He didn't hardly touch the ball at all on offense. I think they kind of feed him because he's been doing all the dirty things this year. We saw him going on a scoring spree last year at one point. I don't think that really starts yet because Pacheco looks really good and playing well. But I just think McKinnon gets in the box, so I'm betting him anytime touchdown at +265.
Hell yeah. Kyle Singer. Hey, y'all. Mike Thomas, KJ Osborne, and Ertz or Ferguson. Full PPR pick one of each. And then is he wrong to lean Tajay Spears over Jerome Ford as well? That's tough. I'll go first. I like KJ Osborne over Michael Thomas, I think. That's hard to say that now. The Texans defense has been pretty good. I just think that I think there'll be more points scored in the Vikings Bears game. So I like Osborne, and I think I still got to roll with Ertz. He's been too solid. Jake Ferguson's been kind of up and down, I think. I like Osborne and Ertz. Abe?
I like Osborne and Ertz also. I think he's third among tight ends and targets. Ferguson looks pretty good. Usually in the first half, he's kind of we know that Dak likes to throw tight ends in the red zone, but Ertz he's kind of getting the ball all over the field. So I like Ertz just a little bit better than Ferguson. I'm a huge Ferguson guy, but KJ Osborne, I'll definitely take him over Mike Thomas. I'll take anyone over Mike Thomas because I can't stand him. And then what was the other one? Lean towards Spears over Ford, full PPR as well. Man, I love Tajay Spears. He's a number 2 guy, and we said no to Derrick Henry earlier. So it's kind of hard to say Spears here, but man, he looks really, really, really good. So this is extremely hard for me. I would rather take a number 1 in Ford instead of a number 1.5 guy in Spears. If you're looking for something for a nice little high floor, then you go with Ford. If you need really big upside, then try Spears because he has the opportunity to take anything to the house. And it also kind of depends on who's starting at quarterback for Cleveland.
And the one thing for Jerome Ford, the 49ers are so good on defense that that makes me almost want to start Tajay Spears just because how good they are on defense. So, and it doesn't matter if they take a couple guys out, they're very deep on the defensive front. So Rich, what do you think?
Yeah, look, when it comes to KJ Osborne and Michael Thomas, KJ Osborne ain't going to have a lot of competition as far as targets compared to Thomas, where he has Olave, he has Kamara coming out of the backfield and everything. So I don't think this is that hard at all. It's easily KJ Osborne. Ferguson has a great matchup against the Chargers, but Ertz is the guy there in Arizona right now, especially with the run game being dismantled and everything with Connor being out. Ertz is going to get plenty of targets and everything. Now, when it comes to Spears and Ford, look, I think about 2 weeks ago, we were having the same conversation as Ford had a tough matchup against the Titans. Now, I know the Titans defense ain't the 49ers defense and everything, but everybody was wanting to bench Ford when they had that matchup against the Titans defense because their rush defense is pretty good. Well, all Ford did was catch 2 touchdowns out of the backfield in that game and stuff like that, and could easily do that in this game and everything. Flip a coin on Spears or Ford. It doesn't matter who you stick in. They're probably going to score around the same points and everything because Spears does have an opportunity. Spears did score last week and everything, but I am going to leave Ford in this situation and stuff like that because Watson ain't going to play, and PJ Walker is probably going to be the starting QB and everything. And what happens? What happens when a running back is scared for his life? Either he's running or he's dumping it off, and Ford is going to be the benefactor in that game. So
I think I go Ford too, just because he's the RB1. He's going to get more touches. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I like Seattle +3 at the Bengals. Coming off the bye, the Bengals finally looked like they figured some things out, but the Seahawks had 11 sacks against the Giants when they played before the bye. I don't see that happening again, but the Bengals offensive line sucks. So I think they're pretty opportunistic. I think they got some guys back I think when they played the Giants, they didn't have any of their starting offensive linemen out there. They had some guys like swap positions and stuff because people were hurt. So I think they kind of get back on the right side of things as far as their offense doesn't seem like it's been clicking on all cylinders. And I think I like the Seahawks this week a little bit. So to cover. Anyways.
Rich, Rich, we're kind of in the same boat here for number 2.
Hey, go ahead and knock it out for both of us then.
I like the Bears +2.5. I was shocked at the spread when I saw that JJ was down. So I am shocked at that. The Bears they think they are riding high. They're playing at home, which I think is a nice advantage. And I honestly think that Minnesota's going to start tanking. So I like the Bears getting 2.5 at home.
Yep, same here. I 100% agree with everything you said and stuff like that. And look, it's at home and stuff like that. The Bears got to give their home team a little bit of the same cooking that they gave the visiting team away last week and everything. So they're going to look to fire it up at home and everything. And I expect the kind of the same outcome. Maybe not DJ Moore having that huge of a game that he had, but maybe spreading it around a little bit. And Justin Fields obviously running a little bit more too. So I do like the Bears at +2.5.
I like Rich's Raiders -3. You got the Patriots coming to town. Patriots might be the worst team in the NFL. They are fucking terrible. And yeah, I mean, your Raiders got a fucking sweet schedule coming up. I think the only team coming to town that's good is the Lions. There's a bunch of 1-4 teams coming to town and shit like that. So your defense looked great. The Packers are good at that. We did that a lot last year. Like if you were bad at something and we came to town, we usually made it look good, whether it was your defense, your offense, your running back, things like that. So I was happy to help you guys kind of kickstart that for you. I think that I'm excited. I don't like Josh McDaniels. He looks like a jabroni out there with his visor on. But other than that, I wish Football Rich was your guys' coach. He should have got the job. Then I would have been happy to cheer for the Raiders a little more. But
yeah. I mean, look, it is what it is and stuff like that.
You know what? Let's finish this. I got another Raiders question before we get out of here tonight. But yeah, who else do you like for spread or whatever?
Look, I had the Raiders -3 too, so I'm not going to go in deep in that one and stuff like that. I'm going to jump to my next one because you pretty much covered the Raiders. If you had to guess, because you guys already know what my pick is, but I'm just going to say it out this way. But who's targeted more in Kansas City in the red zone? You would think Travis Kelce, right?
Hopefully it's McKinnon this week.
Well, maybe and stuff like that. But if you had to pick, look, a majority of the people are going to say Travis Kelce. That is not the case this year. Rashid Rice has more target opportunities in the red zone than Travis Kelce and stuff like that. So I look for an anytime score from Rashid Rice at plus 1,200 this week.
I like that.
My last pick is Seahawks at Bengals. Our Seahawks and Bengals over 45. Bengals had a get right game last week. Joe Burrow finally looked like Joe Burrow last week. I know it was against Arizona and their terrible secondary, but I like the Seahawks, defense. I think they're getting healthier. They're getting better. I don't think they're as good as what they were last year and how good they played, but the Seahawks can put up points. I mean, at any point in time, Kenny Walker can go 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 60 yards. So, I see a lot of I see some scoring in this game. And it was really nice to see the Bengals actually move the ball and Burrow to kind of sit on his back foot and let a few fly. So I like that Seahawks Bengals over 45.
Hell yeah. Okay, Rich, why the fuck it was 4th and 1. And we fucked around with timeouts and we're really stupid. But why did you kick a field goal and not just go for it and win the goddamn game?
Because McDaniels makes the stupidest calls at the times when he makes those stupid calls. I don't know if you guys saw that video. They actually have a video of freaking Mark Davis up in the stands when that call happened. He actually, you could read his lips. It says, "You freaking asshole."
When they lined up, I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
That's exactly what I thought too.
Josh Jacobs has been like that drive. He was running the ball very well. Like, come the fuck on, dude. Like, you got to be kidding me. And then it didn't matter. But yeah. Abe.
Well, that's probably why they did it, because they realized that Jordan Love can't go and put a team on his back and go down the field and score. So,
LaFuck's going to have him throw a lot of deep balls that are uncatchable. So,
I don't want to talk about him.
At 4th and 1 and stuff like that, and arguably one of the best.
Put that game away.
One of the kickers in the best kickers in the league right now misses 250-yard field goals.
One of the best kickers in the league, Anders Carlson.
2 field goals.
No, we got the good Carlson.
Brother for brother and stuff like that. I'm taking Daniel Carlson over the other one.
Why wasn't there a big deal about them compared to Kelsey's?
Like, there were other people too. They actually made a big deal about it. He probably didn't talk about it too much. They showed the family was there supporting both sides and everything. So
it's because Durs is the better, superior Carlson kicker.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Alex, we got Alex Stiver in the chat. Says, "Hey guys, how goes it?" And then he does have a question for us. Thoughts on a way to improve my receiver triple flex league PPR. Wide receivers are Olave, Addison, Higgins, and Mike Wilson. Running backs are Bijan, part of my French, Etienne, and James Cook. Tight end is Kmet. He has McLaughlin, Akers at kicker, and an Ingram on the bench.
I don't know.
Look, Alex, this is hard to answer and stuff like that because we don't know what's available on free agency and everything as far as your league and everything. Where this would be a great question to ask, because then we could follow up, is come join us in Gilded. That way you could ask this question with all of us in there, and we get a little more in depth as far as knowing your lineup and everything. It's really hard to kind of answer this question. You guys' thoughts?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nate. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't want to get rid of my running backs to make my receivers better, I think, at this point. You got Olave. I think Addison's going to get a bump. I don't know when Higgins is supposed to come back. If you could get rid of like McLaughlin and Akers to get somebody, but because I don't trust the Vikings offensive line to run. Maybe it's just because Madison doesn't know what he's doing. But I like having Bijan, Etienne, and James Cook more than having another wide receiver. But I mean, I could be persuaded, I suppose, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I kind of think the same thing. Your 3 wide receivers are pretty good. Your top 3 running backs, in my opinion, are really good. Maybe go look at that, Colts wide receiver that I talked about earlier. I still can't think of his name, but
Josh Downs.
Josh Downs. Maybe see if he's on the wire, see if you can improve there and go with that route. Or if you have, if McLaughlin goes off again tomorrow, then try dumping him. Try dumping him for someone to get
I get Akers with him.
some good matchups. So
get rid of him.
That's not a bad way to do it, but your starting lineup is pretty good. So if you're looking for depth, maybe package hope you get a running back McLaughlin, or maybe even K-Makers is looking better. If one of those guys goes off, try trading them for a mid-tier wide receiver. But be patient. But at the same time, try to load up on guys that are going to get some targets. And then like we said, go on the Gilded chat and just ask. So
yeah, hit us up. Like I said, you can shoot me a DM on Twitter, Rich, Abe, whatever. DM any one of us. We'll get you hooked up and get you in Gilded, and you'll get 15 answers for your question.
Exactly. Stuff. We got as much as we have our regular team on there. We got tons of great knowledge from all the members in there and stuff like that. And look, we all have a life. We got work life and stuff like that, where there's certain times that we're not able to get on there, answer at that time. But man, we got over 240 people that are on there that are willing to give advice and stuff like that at all times. It's crazy how hopping in the chat it is. So Alex, hit us up and stuff like that so we get you in there. It's free, man, and you're going to get tons of advice on it. So,
yep. You can find me on Twitter at Nate_Dirt19, Rich at Frito Bandito_FF, and Abe is at MVINFF. So hit any one of us up. Abe, do you want to talk about shitty coaching, or do you not want to do that tonight? We can do it next week.
I don't want to do it tonight. We've kind of gone far enough, but the NFL is fucking loaded with terrible coaches, and unfortunately, we have one on our side. So
I think all 3 of us could say we do have shitty coaches for our team. So
J-Rob wants a Brandon Staley.
You got a request, Nate. You got a request.
I can't I can talk about him for like 2 or 3 hours, I think, every night, because how fucking stupid that guy is. It never, every single time you think like, hey, he hasn't done something stupid tonight, he does it. He tries to lose every game they're in. There's a reason that they don't fucking have any good record. They don't win in the playoffs. Like they get up, they're doing good, and then it's like, don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't get how he has a job. He's not. Their defense has been shitty since he got there. They hired him because he was a defensive guru, and they have never been good. That team is fucking loaded to the gills with talent. You look at that roster, you'd be like, this team fucking doesn't lose. Yet they won 2 games. I can't remember what their fucking.
No, then you lose Mike Williams, and you go and fill that up with Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnston, which would be on a lot of teams a good 2 and 3. They still suck. Your coach is absolutely fucking awful.
Yeah, and Kellen Moore sucks. I don't care what anybody says. Those 2 are fucking 2 peas in a fucking pod, dude. Those 2 fucking idiots. It's fucking perfect. But I don't know. I'm sure this week, Monday night, he'll do something. They'll probably be up by fucking 15 or 20, and I don't really care, but the fucking Cowboys come right back in because the defense is so bad, and he's going to make dumb fucking calls. It's going to be 4th and 1. They're going to be on the fucking their own 8-yard line. It'd be fucking 4th and 1. Well, let's go for it. And Herbert gets fucking stopped in the backfield like they usually do because they run some stupid play.
Abe, I just had an ephany. Going forward, every week on T2 After Dark, we have a 1-minute Nate rant.
That's fine. I like that.
We just bring the screen up. It's just all about Nate and everything. We'll sign it. We'll kind of dial it in and stuff like that, and we'll start calling. And 2-minute Nate rant.
Hey,
I texted Nate the other night, and I'm like, I can't wait till Wednesday night to talk about this. And then Nate just said, hey, should we wait for it? And I said, I don't want to do it tonight, but I agree. Nate should at least have a rant, and the coaches, like I said, Jared sat there with me on Sunday, me bitching about coaches. Staley's the cream of the crop when it comes to it. So Nate, I definitely think that is on. I'm on board for that.
I don't get it. I don't
Give
get
the fans what they want to hear, Nate. They want to hear
Right
you
up.
bitching about
it.
Staley.
That's what hey, I appreciate
the
that
fans what they want to hear.
Hell yeah. Well, we got to get out of here. Thank you all for listening, tuning in. We'll be back next week with some more rants, I'm sure, about some sweet fucking shit that happened over the weekend. Thanks for all listening. Like I said, check us out on Twitter. Check out the website, 12styles.com. Hop in the Gilded chat. We'd love to have you. And yeah, make sure to check out all our awesome content. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks, Fat.